Factors mitigating against mortgages. So what are the factors that have been standing against people understanding and appreciating mortgage, especially in Nigeria or in Africa as a whole? So first, I'm going to say one of the factors is high interest rates. So a lot of people are always afraid that, okay, by the time I start or I try to get a mortgage, the interest rates that the mortgage bank or the mortgage loaner is going to be requesting from me, the interest rate is going to be high. So people are afraid of the interest rates. They'll say, oh, how can I pay back like 30% into interest rate? That's like to them it's like a rip-off. But the truth is that they normally say there is no free lunch in Britain. For everything you want to take advantage of, something that is helping you, you should know that you are giving something back in return to get that thing. And people in other countries, they do not even see anything wrong with this, because it's now like a norm to them. It's like a normal thing for them to do. Most times, in fact, the rates and the charges that they pay on tax over there in other countries is quite high compared to in Nigeria. So it's something that is part of their system already. They already know this is a system, this is how it works. And the reason why it has to work that way is because, like I said, some of these loaners, are doing it also as a way of getting interest back. Yes, they are doing it as a way of getting interest back, because they know that they won't be getting that money back from you, in 1 year. They are going to be getting over a long period of time. So imagine me giving you the sum of maybe 50 million or 30 million for you to pay me back within 30 years. So whether I like it or not, I have to make sure that I maximize my interest to the best of, my understanding. So I don't think 30% interest rates should be the concern. The concern should be, or the appreciation for the client should be, that you are able to get a lump sum of money in order to purchase a house and live at peace with your family. You no longer have to pay your annual rent. All you just have to be thinking about is how to pay back the money for the house, and the house is forever yours. Perhaps maybe much later in future you choose to sell it, it remains an asset for you, it remains an asset for your children, it remains an investment that you can always benefit from. So that's just my answer to that. So then another factor is the short time of repayment, the short period of repayment. So a lot of people have concerns that, if I apply now, maybe I am 50 years, and then you're telling me I can only pay back within 10 years, or from after your accessibility, we find out that you can only pay back within 5 years. That's too short for me. The short time is a concern for people. However, that's the reason why I said that it's my target audience right now are people who are fresh, who are youths, who are young, who probably do not want to make the same mistakes that their fathers and their parents have made. We have a lot of parents who live all these face me, I face you's houses, and they live there for years. We have parents who are as aged as 60, 70 years, and their children are out of the place quite alright, but they are still in those kind of environments because they were not able to secure a place of their own. They probably did not find opportunities, or they were not even able to afford the opportunities. So now my targets, clients are people who do not want to make those same mistakes, people who know how to utilize opportunities when they see them. So this is an opportunity that I'm bringing to you. And also, if you are within the age range of, let's say, 45 to 50, you still have time. Just that you have minimal benefits right now. The rates are not favorable for you. However, you still have time, in your plate. You still can get mortgage. Now, the next factor I'm going to talk about is the age restrictions. Yes, people complain, oh, why are there so many age restrictions? Why can't I get it? If I am 65? No, because the life expectancy rate currently has now become very short. If you do your research well, people are not expected to that, of course, that's just the research, because of considering the things that have been happening, the health rate of people right now. Life expectancy is now, I think it's below 60 years right now. Yes, it's a little below 60 years or thereabouts. So for an insurance person or a mortgage broker, it is not advisable for one to give out a mortgage loan to someone who is beyond age 60, because they are close to that age where anything could happen. They could pass on, and then having to drag their successors or their heir or their next of kin to be able to pay back the loan, the mortgage loan, might be more difficult. than having the person who signed the contract directly. So part of the contract that the person is going to be signing, of course, we include your next of kin, just in case at any point in time there's an accident or something happens and the person is unable to pay. The next of kin and some other people will have to help the person, but that is not like the expected. So the expected is that at least if you're still within the age range of 21 to 60, you should still be able to access a mortgage loan from a mortgage bank. All right, so another factor that I'm going to mention is the demand for housing outweighs the supply. So we have a lot of people demanding housing. The demand for housing is very high. A lot of people need a house of their own. However, the supply is minimal. The supply is low, and this goes to some of our developers and some of the professionals that we have in the real estate sector. The supply of housing is quite low. We have land, yes, we have excess land, especially in places like Ibadan, Ogun State, and some of those places we have land. However, houses, especially affordable houses, I'm not talking about duplexes or luxury houses that could cost quite a lot and probably cannot be financed by a mortgage or with a mortgage, because most times the bracket of the money we give most times does not surpass like 30 million, 40, 50. So I'm not talking about maybe houses like 100 and something. No, I'm talking about affordable houses. We really have houses in high supply like that. So, and this is a bridge that I believe people in the real estate industry can cover up. So for instance, in Ibadan right now we have a lot of developers who are taking advantage of some of the locations that we know that development is going to be rapid, and a kind of location like that is Monia. So currently we have a lot of developers moving towards Monia to take advantage of that location, because we know that from research that place is going to be an industrial village very soon, come a few years from now, and it will be great. This is a word especially for me to people out there, especially these developers that are taking advantage of this. It will be great for us to see them build houses, to see them build affordable houses that people can buy with mortgage. It will be nice to see housing schemes in different locations where people can buy and they can take ownership of the house of their home. So then now the next thing I'm going to mention is access to mortgage loan is very minimal. Yes, and this is the reason why I'm here. Yeah, this is the reason why I'm here. I'm here to bridge that gap, and I know that come a few months from now, we're going to be having more realtors, more people, more marketers, mortgage marketers who are going to be talking about mortgage. The reason why people are shying away from it is just the issues that I've mentioned. Part of the issues is the fact that Nigerians, they are slow to accept some of these things, because everybody says, I don't want to loan anything loan, nobody wants to do it. And also sometimes we also have the issue of the fact that people are not earning so much, so to be able to cough out a particular amount dedicatedly every month from their salary is difficult. So that has been the problem, and I trust God and believe that the government will help us work on the salary structure, because as I think currently there's a level that every salary earner should be. The minimum wage right now has been increased, so there's a level that every salary earner should be able to take advantage of. Although I know that the minimum wage is still very minimal compared to being able to access a mortgage, but as we keep moving forward, I believe that people should be able to cough out that repayment fee from their salaries to cover up for their mortgage loans. And these are the things that will help us to be able to get mortgage financing into the system, into the Nigerian and the African system. Then also we have the problem of the sustainability of the mortgage industry. The sustainability of the mortgage industry has been quite untapped, and it has experienced constraints from providing mortgage finances to the average poor citizen in Nigeria. And this is very true, because a lot of mortgage banks and mortgage loaners have not really had people coming out to ask and request for loans. So it hasn't really been a sustainable industry, so to say. It hasn't been an industry that people really understand and people want to be part of. But I know that there are some few people who are learned and they know what benefits they will be getting from accessing mortgages. So, and this is a message for those kind of people, because the more people are able to benefit and take advantage of mortgage, and they come out and they give their reviews, and they kind of tell others how they were able to access their own houses for mortgage, I believe more people will be willing to want to be part of this. So it's actually a duty of not just we, the mortgage marketers, nor the brokers, nor the loaners. It's also a duty of people, the few percentage of people who have been able to take advantage of it. It's something that we should have people come out and speak good about the mortgage industry. Then we also have another factor that the mortgage industry is experiencing, which is high property prices. Yes, high property prices in urban areas as against available loans for citizens. Like I said, in most areas, especially we look at Lagos. So I have a client who we helped out with our affordability test recently, and she's looking at buying a property of, let me say like 60 million. However, mortgage affordability is way low compared to that. And this property is in Lagos. It's in Lekki in Lagos. So, and this is like the list of properties that we can find in those kind of areas. So it's actually a problem. It's a problem because for her, she was a bit sad and disappointed because she really wanted mortgage. However, her affordability shows that she cannot get up to the amounts that the property is going for. So this is a problem that I believe that can be resolved by us getting more investors in the mortgage industry. So we require rather people who are the billionaires, people who are mortgage finance or rather finance companies and all of that, who wouldn't mind investing in the mortgage industry, who would want to invest in this area, to utilize their money, people to utilize their money for housing and all of that. So, and I believe that this is going to help us a lot in this industry. Then another factor is while dwellers in the rural areas have very weak demand for housing loans. That's another factor. That is, we have the people in the rural areas who have very weak demand for housing loans, and the reason is simply because of low income. So low income on the part of the rural dwellers, of course, would cost them to zero out anything mortgage, because when they consider the cost of having to pay back on a monthly basis an amount that probably their salary cannot even cover for. In fact, most times when we do the affordability test, once we see that because you're not supposed to pay back anything beyond, I think it's about 30 to 40% of your salary on a monthly basis for any loan. So once we discover that you are unable to meet up with those criteria, we will not release the loan, because of course it's a situation that one has to deal with with wisdom and professionally. So a lot of people in the rural areas cannot even afford to be able to take up the affordability test, because they know that they can't even afford to pay back. So I believe that going forward, the only solution to that part is if the minimum wage and there is more like the minimum wage is increased, and or there are better jobs. People have accessibility to better jobs, better paying jobs, and all of that. So that could be a very good solution. So now I'm going to ask that, okay, the next question that I probably will be asking is, who finances mortgages? We've already said that most this mortgage mortgage package or mortgage offers, it works in other countries. Yes, it works in foreign countries. Now, if we want to look at it, who are those that are financing, those countries where mortgage is working? Is it the government, or is it an individual, or is it a body? Who are those that are financing, so that we can be able to know those that we can approach, as a country, to be able to help us, to make things, at least better as regards the mortgage industry. So, when I did the research, I realized that in the US, the highest mortgage payer, or the highest mortgage owner, the highest mortgage loaner, whichever we can call it, is a United Awesome Mortgage. United Awesome Mortgage, that's the name of the company, and it is owned by Matt Ishby. You can do a research on Google. The highest mortgage loaner in the US is owned by Matt Ishby. He's the CEO of United Awesome Mortgage. So from there I was like, okay, so this is an individual. It's actually not even the government. It's an individual. And I also saw some other financial institutions who finance mortgage loans in the foreign countries that we said mortgage is working. So it is not actually the government. So because many of us are always quick to say, oh, the government should do this, the government should do that. It's not everything that the government is going to resolve for us. So there are some things that we have people who are more privileged than others, in a country, and we also have, like for instance, in the oil and gas sector, we have Liko Dangote. We have in some other sectors like that, we have some key names that we know that these people can actually undo some of these things, single-handedly. So that is something that we look forward to having, people, do in this side of the world, that is in Nigeria and in Africa as a whole. So we look forward to having, people like that who they know that they have the money. So all they just need to do is to invest in the mortgage industry in order to help people, to resolve the problem of housing. And also some other financial companies, financial institutions should also begin to take, the leap to, go into mortgage, brokerage and or mortgage loaning, so to say. So that, because that would really, really, really help us to resolve the housing problem in Nigeria and in Africa as soon as possible. So if you have any more questions as regards all that we have treated today, I'd like to have them. By next week, I'm going to be treating your questions, and next week we're going to be treating another topic, and we're going to be looking at the steps you need to take in order for you to be able to access mortgage. So this week we treated who can access mortgage, helping you understand the kind of people that are eligible to receive mortgage. Last week we treated what is mortgage, so that was like the introduction into mortgage.
Bringing the future to you now.